Alrighty, hello my friends, how's it going? I think the music's a little too loud. Alright there, I think that should be good. Alright, hello everybody. Sorry about that. I had a little internet hiccup for whatever reason. I started to stream and then like I just saw like a red number floating about. It was like 50% drop frames. I was like, okay, I'm not gonna stream at 10 frames per second. It's like a PowerPoint. So I had to restart everything. Yeah, I just did a restart PC, restart router. So that was good enough, I think. Usually it does the job. I think it's just like the ingest gets like crammed, I assume, like the packets, like when it's been on for a long time and I haven't restarted anything for a while, because I actually don't tend to turn off my computer like regularly, you know, like I just like leave it on, you know, turn off the screen or whatever, like put it to sleep, but like it's like quick sleep or whatever, so it like doesn't like actually refresh everything. So sometimes just restarting everything is pretty good. Same with the router. So let's see who is here. Shonis, Konin, Ru, hola, ¿cómo estamos? Zilla, hello, Prime, Mick, Sunny, what's up? ODM, how goes it? Hubert, how are you? Hubert, I saw your DM and I was like, no way, dude. The pictures suck. I don't know what you're talking about. Jabronas, hey. Mine has been needing restarts once a month recently. Damn, that's crazy. But for like what reason do you tend to restart your PC? Prime, Tom, like, do you get like frozen? Like, do you have like stuff that freezes and stuff? Like, cause like sometimes like my video feed gets fucked up or like my audio gets fucked up sometimes. Like I'll be like, you know, like let's say I like having a conference call or whatever, and it's like all garbled up. Or like the RGB channels in the video will get fucked up for like my front camera, and like only a restart apparently seems to fix it. Everything else doesn't work. I was like, what the heck? I was like, I tried to like unplug it, replug it, like take out a battery or whatever, you know, like basically power it off and on. Just not the PC, but I have to end up like actually having to restart the whole PC. I was like, what the? So weird. Anyway, I feel like, yeah, software has gone kind of whack for some things. Alex is streaming. I think he said he's wearing one too. Yeah, I am. I am wearing a Teja Tights hoodie. It's the dark one. I was just wearing it today, so that's why I'm wearing it right now. It's not purposeful. I was just wearing it today because it was kind of cold inside. Like today is actually a pretty cold day out. Like it's, let's see, what's the weather right now? Let's see. Right now in oh, actually that's not that bad. It's like -5 Celsius. In Fahrenheit that's like 22 degrees or something like that. But it was supposed to be colder. I think yesterday was actually colder than today. I think yesterday was like -15, -16 Celsius, which I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit now. That's like wait, no, -15. It's like single digit Fahrenheit. Yeah. So pretty chilly. It's been real cold. The past week we kind of had this big cold snap, and it's just been like haunting us the whole week. So, and I've been going into work basically every day, so it's been terrible. Speaking of work, so you know, like I've been telling you guys, I've been busy for work, right? And I anticipate getting busier soon again. But we had a bad week at work. There was a mass layoff, and I survived, thankfully. But things are not going hot. And like I have to say bye to like over half of my coworkers. Like basically everyone that I get along with, I'll be saying bye to them. It's insane. So yeah, we were like super shocked. Like the whole management thing was not great about it, but here we are. So I guess I'll be looking outwardly again pretty soon. Looking for opportunities. But yeah, this week was honestly kind of trash for me. It was truly a terrible week. Like, mass layoff aside, like, I just felt so bad, like, there's like survivor's guilt and stuff like that too, right? Like, there's like this whole like thing about like, you just feel terrible for the people who are affected, but you yourself are not like safe in particular either, because in my case, like, I have to pick up a bunch of work from like the empty spots basically, and so I was like, I'm not gonna do 5 people's job for like the same salary, right? So it's the silver lining is that I can look while I still technically have a job, but like it sucks, man. Yeah, it didn't last too long, I guess, but here we are. So I gotta start to look again. But the good thing is we at least for my coworkers, like it seems like we're staying in touch. So people took it in stride. People took it pretty well. And they're like, kind of looking out for each other. It's like, oh, like if you find an associate position here, let me know. If you find like a marketing or development position here, let me know, and things like that. So people are like looking out for each other, pretty supportive. So nothing ugly, at least amongst like coworkers and stuff. So that's been like a relief for me. And like relief for everybody, really. Like we all kind of get along. But it's still a bummer, like it fucking sucks. Like I felt so bad. Like this happened like last like Tuesday or something like that, and it was an awful day, man. Like everyone was crying and like it was horrible. But yeah. Oh, I see. Prime said, oh, I meant like the internet itself. I get like 5,000 milliseconds on Discord and I can't stream video. Yeah. This happens to me sometimes when I'm like playing games. Like sometimes like we'll like rubber band and shit. Terrible. PC itself has some drivers, crashing issues. Swap to AMD GPU. I have a 3080 from EVGA right now. That's what I'm currently using. Oh, let me actually text. Yeah. So, yeah. Anyway, one thing I don't miss about New York after moving to the Bay Area is the cold. That's totally fair, traveler. It's rough. This year, I think this winter has been rougher than usual, like with the big snowstorm and the ice on the floor, and then just like cold wind. But I mean, frankly, like I've been living in New York for how long now? I've been here 2017 to now almost, so let's say eight and a half years. 8.5 years plus, and then I lived like 2 years before that, like in a separate period of time. So I've been living here for like 10 years, and like those 10 years that I've lived in New York City, honestly, winters have been pretty mild. Like I would say maybe like 2 of those 10 years were like really damn cold, like consistently during the whole winter. But frankly, pretty okay, like pretty manageable. Like, as long as you have like one decent parka or like jacket, it's all right. Like you can manage. Obviously wind chill obviously sucks, but like it comes and goes, and it's not like the worst thing. It barely snows, honestly. Snow doesn't last here. They plow it right away. They salt the roads right away, sidewalks, etc. This past snowstorm, like weekend or whatever, last week was worse. Like we got like 1.5 feet of snow, but city managed it fairly well for most places that I've like walked around and been to. Yeah. Glad you survived. Layoffs are so depressing, man. Yeah. This is kind of funny, right? So I am one of the fairly recent hires, technically. I got to keep my job because, like, I don't want to go into depth, but basically there's a science team and there's an engineering team, and the engineering team is pretty small, or was pretty small. It was like usually 2 or 3 people at most, right? But when I joined the company, I was replacing someone who left, and then the other person who, I'm like electrical engineering and like background, and the other guy who was like a mechanical engineer, he left the company like maybe like 3 months after I had joined. So basically, I was the only engineer at the company for the past year, essentially. So I kept my job right now because I'm the only person who holds the title of engineering. So it's like, if I had been any other position, immediately cut for sure, guaranteed, because they're cutting from the top and the bottom, right? They always, when they do mass layoffs at any company, most companies, they always cut some at the top, a bunch of at the bottom, some at the top, kind of like trimming and leaving some in the middle, right? And so out of absolutely being cut, right? But like, I only survived because I happen to be the only person who can do that specific task, right? It's stupid, but yeah, I felt terrible about it. Just one of those things. I was like, oh, like, it's pure luck, but hey, silver lining. we keep looking and we see what happens. But yeah. Anyway, that's that. Can you share the reason why they're letting staff go? Bottom line is, I work at a startup. I work like in the biotech field, and I work in a startup, and essentially, well, actually, we don't know the exact reason. I mean, I'm telling you the reason that they told us. The reason we were told is there was a funding issue, and the funding issue had to do with like an investor pulling out, and so that affected the finances severely enough that they were like, we need to cut immediately, sort of thing. So that was that, but it seems a little too drastic to be cutting so much of the workforce, which for me was kind of strange. But there's like a board behind the scenes, and they like make decisions too, and so I assume that had an influence in this. Obviously, since I'm not like, I'm still a couple levels below the executive side, like I don't really know what the exact reason was, but essentially it boiled down to a funding issue in a startup situation, which is not abnormal. It just happens, and they tend to happen pretty suddenly. So here we are. Asking us, and I know people in tech are losing their jobs as well, and firms that seem to be doing well. Yeah. I mean, I feel like we were doing pretty well. Our like results are promising, and like things have been actually moving forward pretty well in terms of like our work. But I really thought, my personal like assumption around this whole issue was that it was like a series of perhaps poor executive decisions that led to the financial problem, and then boom, kaput, it kind of imploded on itself. So here we are. But take it in stride and see it as an opportunity to look for something better, greener pastures out there. But money is the main reason, yeah, as always. All right, so today we're going to be building the Tofu65. Not too much different from the 60, it's just an extra column, but essentially it's the same keyboard as a Tofu60 that I already reviewed last time. Last time I did show you briefly, guys, what the roller V2 switches look like, and I figured, well, if I have them, if they sent them to me, I should try them. So I know that some people have already tried them on the 60, so it might not come as a surprise at all. But I figured, why not give it a shot? Get an actual sense of what it feels like and what it's like, to use them physically. So let's do that. So let's get all the parts out here. So these are like the screws for top mount. These are the gasket mount things. That's the daughter board. I have a bunch of plates. I haven't decided what plate I'm gonna use. There's foam and tape mod stuff. Yeah. Then there's our PCB. Looks like we have hot swap this time. That was where the case came in. Screwdrivers. I have some, so I'll just forego those for now. And here's the case. So the case that I got for this one is a, I think this is the lilac or purple, light purple color. It's kind of silvery in this lighting, but it definitely is like a lilac, like a very, very, very light purple like has almost like a pinkish hue to it. Yeah, like a very silky lilac, light purple color. Pretty nice though. And then we have a, I'm not sure if this bottom piece is aluminum or steel. So I'll have to take a look at that. Let's see, Tofu65 options. I just need to see what options they're offering for the bottom piece. Bottom, let's see. So I definitely have some stainless steel bars here for the weights. Bottom case. Oh, okay. They only offer. It's all anodized options, right? Oh no, they do have sandblasted stainless steel. Oh, okay. So I think I got the sandblasted stainless steel today. That's cool. So I think it looks like it's alu top steel bottom for my case today. It feels significantly heavier. So so that's pretty cool. So I got a steel bottom for today's build. So that's different. This is a Kazawa Anno version. I'm not sure in terms of like manufacturing. So I wouldn't be able to tell you actually like the details of that. The Ravenda base kit from GMK Lavender feels like a nice match for this case color. Yeah, there would be a good number of what is that, key sets that would probably match this. All right, so let's get kind of. It's often the C-suite fault and everyone else suffers. Yeah, I mean, you know, company things. What can you do? That's the structure that we live in, right? Like if you're in the uppers, then you're the decision maker, and if you make poor decisions, everyone else suffers for that decision. And so usually that's the case, I think, but I think especially like in the startup situation, like in a small company situation, that's usually how it goes. But yeah, I'm not pointing fingers. Personally, we kind of expected it would come at some point if things around the funding situation didn't go well, which it's totally expected that some things work and some things don't. This was very dramatic to us, like for work, but you know, we take it in stride and we deal with it and move on. It's okay. For me, it's partly a relief. To be quite honest with you, it's a way for me to look more into. Personally, I'm going to be looking more into like traditional engineering firms. You know, bigger or not bigger doesn't matter, but perhaps tap a little bit more into the more traditional, like more classical engineering firm structure, and so hopefully, you know, I'll get to apply to some of that and see what opportunities are out there. So for me, I'm not as concerned. I'm okay. But it is a bummer for the people who work in the science team who, you know, specifically if you're like in biotech, it's like very rough right now. You know, federal funding is not like, it's all over the place as you would expect. I mean, government's about to shut down again. And in terms of like investors and things like that, it's a complete crapshoot, right? So so that's another issue. New job? Gotta look for one. Gotta look for one. No new job yet. We'll be looking, probably. Work hard where I am now, and then, you know, look outward when the opportunity pops up, kind of thing. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Need those. These are for top-mount stuff. Okay. Let's get started, shall we? Don't go to anything bio-related unless it's one of those big companies. Yeah, I mean, I think right now, I think it's just the climate right now is rough. It was better at one point. Actually, like when I was still like looking into it, it was still okay. Actually, it was much healthier. I mean, I'll tell you because it felt healthier when I entered the company, you know. But now it's like, now I know it's rough, you know, because we're all experiencing the same pressures. from the outside. So it's just the way it goes. All right, so plates. So it looks like they offered the same plates as I got last time for the 60, which is there's carbon fiber. There is PEI, plastic, and then aluminum, as some might call it. We can choose. I am personally kind of leaning into the carbon fiber because these roller switches kind of have this like very firm and like nice and firm, sort of like loud typing or like, you know, bottom out sound. So kind of leaning towards that, but give or take's probably the same. Thoughts on them yet? The rollers, only have tried them loose, so no thoughts. That's why I'm trying them today. Like I checked them briefly last time. Like I just opened them up and I was like, oh, okay, you know, factory lube looks good, and the smoothness of these guys is it's really nice. It's like there really is no friction in the action. Like, I mean, there's a little bit of static friction like right at the beginning because of the preload of the spring. You can feel the preload of the spring a little bit. It seems to use like a slightly longer spring, is my guess, and so you can kind of feel that a little bit. But then once it kind of goes down, the roller part itself actually does a pretty good job. So these roller like balls kind of thing are like these steel balls are like on each of the side of the switch, on each face of the switch right in the middle. So they do seem to be helping here for the action of the switch. So they feel super smooth. There's some lube on the front legs and on the side rails primarily, and a little bit of lube around the spring from what I can tell. So the lubing is fairly light. It's not a very heavy lubing, so it's like for stock, it's a pretty decent light lubing sort of situation. But I have not tried these guys in an actual board, so that's what we're doing today. So let's give that a shot. Actually, I don't know what I was gonna do. Alright, so let's pick a plate. I'm leaning carbon fiber, but I'll let you guys pick. I actually don't mind letting people pick this out. So let's see. Plate. Plate for roller V2 switches. Alu, CF, PI, right? I always wanted to try some rollers and those NK clickies. NK? NK clickies? Which ones are the NK clickies? You don't mean Zeal clickies? Or do you, or oh, the cream? The ones with the little Snapple cap thingy at the bottom? Those are pretty interesting because they feel basically like linear, and then like it sounds like a little snap at the very bottom. Yeah, those are kind of weird. Weird in the sense that it's different from all the other clickies out there, because all other clickies are like a click bar, or a click jacket, which has essentially a tactility to the actual motion of the switch. But the Snapple ones, the cream clickies, they're basically linear. And then it just like clicks at the end and then clicks back when it comes back up. So kind of weird for sure. All right, I'll let y'all vote. Looks like it's between CF and PI. If they tie, I'll choose one. Oh, hello camera, come back. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it must be like static or something. Having some horchata in the winter, drinking horchata. Okay. Oh, it's a tie between CF and PEI. What am I feeling like? Actually, maybe I'll just like, I don't know. I don't know. A little bit more muted on the CF, actually. Kind of torn. I expect a little more resonance on the CF compared to the PEI, but so from my experience of trying the Tofu60, I think I liked the top mount a little bit more. And one thing, I'll check in this case, but I don't think this case actually has force brake applied to it because I think these prototypes just didn't have it. But on the 60, I did apply these, you know, like those like stabilizer pads, and that basically got rid of a lot of the echoing, especially at the edges of the case. And once I did that, the top mount sounded really nice. So thinking of top mount, maybe I'll go with CF this time. I think, have a feeling I'm gonna enjoy a CF a little bit more with top mount. So let's do CF. Plastic plates are nice too, though, but I'm just kind of gonna go with my gut here. All right, let's get some stabs ready and just do that. So Diego refresh chat. Oh, I didn't realize. Was it out? Oh, I didn't realize it was out. Oh, I did not realize. Oh, sorry about that. Oh, that's so weird. It must be, is it Twitch? My OBS thing was live the whole time. And it doesn't show drop frames this time. So I'm wondering if it comes from, let's see what it says here. Twitch. Oh yeah, you guys are right. It dropped. It dropped for like half a minute here. What was the issue? Doesn't say what the issue exactly was. Encoding issues. Okay. Weird. I think the right thing to do is sing that song again. The Vampire Weekend song. It's a good song. Do you guys like Vampire Weekend? It's the horchata song. You were talking alone, it happens as we ate. Oh wow. That's not very kind of you. Just kidding. Thanks for the heads up. Yeah, sorry. I was talking to myself about what plate to use, and I was thinking that I'm going to use the carbon fiber plate because I think I like it. That's pretty much the bottom line. So we're doing the carbon fiber, and I think I like it, so that's why we're doing it. Yeah. Oh no! Oh no! Is it dropping again? Twitch chill? Boppy chill. What the? Why is it happening? It's crazy. Please stop. What the heck? Now it looks like you're streaming from the space station? Holy shit. Okay. Wow. That's just wild to me. Next slide, please. Oh no. Is it still terrible? Honestly, people probably just need to refresh their players. Wait, for real? No, I mean I do see the unstable events on the Twitch inspector page. Like there are these like little instability events. They only last like 10 seconds each, but they seem to be happening. It's fine now. Crispy clean now? Ah, so weird. I think it's a connection problem. It's some connection issue. All right. I have no idea. Okay, so but I'm gonna guess it's just like a connection problem right now. Ah, that's bizarre. Okay, well, it does look like my video is fine though, at least for the recording. So worst case scenario, we keep going, and if things don't go well, I think the VOD quality itself should be okay. But it is kind of annoying to have this happen right now. So apologies for connection problems. I didn't know Teja was back. Hello. I hope he's doing all right. Actually, I haven't spoken with him in a hot minute. I hope they're doing all right. But yeah, I was wearing this this hoodie because it was kind of cold. You look more handsome than usual, Mr. Types. Ouch. Don't say that to him. Well, thank you. But I mean, it's nice to stream today because this week's honestly been such a shipwreck of a week. So awkward. So bad. Okay, let's get this built up. Would you ever go back to academia, Diego? Probably not if I have to build my way up there. I think the uphill battle of academia of specifically like if you so like for academia, at least for me, right? Like I'm in STEM, right? So for me, academia would involve you know, you get a position as, what is this, like it's a assistant professor tenure track sort of situation, and then you, assuming you work at a research university, then it means that you would have to build up from there, you know, build a lab, fund the lab, so you need to you know, apply for grants and that kind of stuff, and then you also need to teach. You also have teaching responsibilities, and then with teaching responsibilities come like a lot of obstacles, right? Like you also have to like hire students, like essentially like recruit students to join your lab, like things, interesting things that you might be doing. I think that whole process, the fact that when you start with nothing, and then you sort of have to build up from there for essentially like 10 to 20 years, really, is pretty rough. It's a very rough career path. Very, very uphill, very, very difficult. Not to mention there's a lot of bureaucracy, and there's, you know, different, you know, powers at play essentially. And to do that at like my current like age and stage in my career, like where I want to be, just thinking about it, I'm like, it's probably not something I'll be looking forward to doing. If I had my mind set on it before, I've certainly changed my mind on that before, and so that's actually why I left academia in that regard. It was fun while it lasted. I enjoyed having both research and teaching responsibilities, but it, like managing a lab and building one up from there, and all of that along with the teaching was not something that I really wanted to do. So I ultimately decided that it was not the path I wanted. But you know, it's not easy. Academia is so it hinges so much on, at least in the United States, if you're like in STEM research, it hinges on federal funding. It hinges on the university itself supporting you too, right? And the health of universities, like right now, especially in the United States, it's pretty questionable. It's not easy. It's really, really difficult. You have to prove yourself amongst many peers and colleagues who are just equally as qualified and deserving as you might be. And you know, this goes the same for industry things too in some regards, but I think academia has had it rougher the more time has passed. Yeah. Hello, join midway. How are things going with the build? It's going. We're doing a Tofu65 3.0 build. We have a light purple or lilac anode top with a steel sandblasted bottom and inner steel weights, and then we're currently lubing our cherry clip-in stabs. And I'm gonna try the roller V2 switches, which I didn't try for the Tofu60, so getting to try those out and seeing how that goes. But yeah, that I hopefully that answers the question as to like why not academia. But I mean, I have friends in it, and they're doing well. Some of them, and some of them are, you know, thinking of, you know, transitioning to a different place or coming back. You know, like I wouldn't mind coming back to academia in a like a teaching position. Like if they were like, oh, like giving a, like doing like a class or like a workshop or some sort of like seminar or whatever, you know, like basically something that doesn't require me to like basically like micromanage this like lab sort of situation. I think it's that'll be like probably more ideal. Like people who like get invited as guests or otherwise, I think that kind of prospect is a lot better. But yeah, it's not the easiest thing either way. So I don't really see myself going as much as just to collaborate with people I know or people I get to meet who do cool work, because there's merits to both sides do really good and important work in different areas to different timelines and paces. Like R&D, if you're in R&D, like the pace of R&D is very different in academia versus in industry. So there is importance in keeping both alive and having like a nice translational view of both. I'm in the middle of making that decision to go into PhD for EE. Oh, I've been doing research. I like the work topics. I've had a lot of support. Also hearing a lot of uncertainty for a general future. Uncertainty for the general future is quite inevitable. Dynamite Dosa, like if you are in the US, then more so. It's a little bit more of a bloodbath right now because of the federal funding issue. And, you know, just like a general divestment from academia because of the forces. What the? Look at this wire. This wire is kind of cut short. that's a dud. let's toss that out. Sometimes some of these wires come defected. But I would say generally speaking, like if it calls out to you and you have the support system, it's not a bad decision. I mean, I would always suggest that if anyone's going into like a grad program, whether it's a master's or a PhD, I don't think it matters, but especially if it's research related, like STEM especially, then you have to have a passion for like research in terms of like, you know, because the idea of doing a master's or a PhD outside of like classes, if you have to do like a thesis, is that you're basically exploring one topic in depth, right? And usually they're self-motivated and self-fulfilled projects. Like there are teams and such, but it's mostly you doing the work. That's really what it is, and you have to be okay with working by yourself for quite a bit, for quite a while. And like the best kind of pointers that you'll get is figure it out yourself kind of advice, where they'll give you some pointers, but they're not going to be solving the problems for you. Like nobody else is going to be doing that for you. So doing a grad degree is tough in that regard. You have to have some kind of self-sufficiency and grit to be able to like figure stuff out yourself when things aren't the very clear cut. You're essentially exploring a topic for the sake of understanding it fully. So that's kind of your job in a PhD. So it's not for everyone. You have to enjoy that process. You have to be okay with not knowing and figuring it out and learning as much as you can. It's a demonstration of you being capable of asking critical questions and answering those critical questions smartly. So that's the demonstration of a grad degree. It's not more than that. No one's expecting you to be the next expert on blah. They're just expecting you to make the process of becoming an expert in a certain topic. And then if you do become an expert in a topic, then even better. That becomes your dissertation. Yeah. Anyway, sorry for the rant. Ordered my Tofu65 today. Not sure if stainless steel bottom will be good. Sterling 60 had the stainless steel bottom. It was a bit deadened. I could see that. I could see it kind of sinking into the desk mat and sounding a little dead. I do not know what to expect, but if that was the impression from the 60, I would not be terribly surprised if that's what ends up being for the 65, especially because I don't remember if I watched Captain Sterling's video or Twitch stream, but I think he did build the same thing, like roller V2 switches, CF plate sort of situation. So if he experienced that kind of like more deadened sound, or like people perceived it as such, then I wouldn't be surprised if the 65 is basically the same. Unfortunately, I don't have an allo bottom for it, so I can't compare it with you. Is this a Twitch thing? Because even the ads are stuttering, but connection speed test is strong. Yeah. Oh, then actually yes, that's probably a Twitch thing, because so I'll tell you right now, there is a little window on my bottom right that says stats, status, output, drop frames, network, and the bit rate, and I don't have drop frames. My frames are encoding fine to the internet, but they're not landing to you guys. I'm essentially streaming packets of data to the internet, and it's not landing on your into your browsers. You know, maybe there is a little bit of a problem with Twitch digesting that data and putting it into their stream and just out there for people to watch. Synthesis still in the desk IC? No, this is actually F18X V2 that I built for a client. The synthesis has been out of my desk and actually out of my hands for all of last week. I pretty much packed it up right away and sent it off on its way to wherever it had to go. To wherever I was told it had to go, to be specific. So hopefully somebody else out there will be doing something with it. Also, hi Dizzy, what the F? I wasn't following Lightning Silver Blue Good. Hello, hi. So sorry for the disconnections. Quick, someone offer a sacrifice to keyboard gods. Call Fiji. Yeah, someone do something. It's so weird to see my stream have network issues now because I haven't had them in. At this point, it feels like years that I haven't had like big stream issues. I'm getting these like little windows of unstable network. Super bizarre to me that it's happening now of all times. Yeah, but yeah, it does appear like we are having some issues here as of the past hour. You mean Kiwi? Oh, Kiwi. He's sleeping. Maybe I need to wake him up. I feel like he'll just shock everything and everything will be disastrous. You got a Spectrum Ghost? Oh, holy. That would be terrible. I mean, let me actually check my speed test. Okay. My speeds are fine on my end. My speeds are fine. Both, yeah. I'm getting like 300 download and like 140 upload. So it's pretty okay, and that's like with the stream currently in place. Usually it's a little faster than that. So it's looking like it's Twitch or somewhere on the server side of Twitch perhaps. I can check my settings. Let's see, stream. I am connected to the closest network server for this. So, or at least the one that's always recommended for me and that always works. I'm gonna blame AWS. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if something like that were the issue too. I mean, it's happened more often this year than ever, I feel. AWS always causing me problems? Yeah, that's real. That is real. Well, my sincerest apologies for those actually trying to watch the stream and having constant issues. If you have to close the browser and stop watching, I totally understand. I'm so sorry. 6G is coming out next year? Oh, is that right? I have not kept up with my communication system stuff, I'll be honest. I didn't know. 6G. Finally, huh? I wonder what 6G is like, what they're doing new for 6G. Like what's the actual increase there, I wonder. And I wonder what kind of cool little signal processing tricks they're doing, because you know, the whole idea around, you know, 3G, 4G, 5G LTE or whatever, like it's all this very interesting signal processing technique in terms of like both analog and digital like packet, like, you know, like the way they use the band, and it's super interesting stuff. Oh, hi, Kiwi. Oh, he's walking back. Oh, he's awake. Maybe now that he's awake, the internet will work fine. Okay, these switches actually sound pretty good. They're so smooth though. These are super smooth. I actually really like how these feel. I actually don't know what the travel on these is. Roller V2 switches. Roller V2 linear switches. Does it say? V2, 3.7 millimeter travel with 58 gram. Oh, the spring is nice. And it does feel pretty good. PBT bottom housing material, PC transparent ink material for the top, and some factory lube. Very, very cool. I like it. They do feel very nice. There's also a whole bandwidth constant changes and who gets to use what lane. Yeah, true. I mean, I need to refresh on my signals and like my random signals and stuff, and my communication system stuff, but yeah, I kind of want to, sometimes I just want to like read up some papers on what they're up to. It's always fun. I'm just being a nerd about this, but yeah. I would say definitely have not kept up as much since I was like in grad school. I gotta say, I really like how they went with a nice black like palette for the color. It's just nice and clean look for it. Always a fan when they do that. I do like them colorful switches too, but sometimes these nice, you know, clean jet black colored ones are always they look elegant. They look nice. The more interesting stuff will be the filter designs, because there are unique materials that have super specific properties, and who will get the rights to those materials. Are you a communications person, Dynamite Dosa? Do you do like what do you do? Do you do like RF? Do you do like analog? That would be rare. Someone in analog specifically. Or do you specifically do like communication stuff? $6G though, huh? That's exciting. I've been the microfab stuff. Oh, I see. Been trying to pivot and just integrate the RF stuff. Oh, that would kind of make sense. I kind of wish I went a more traditional route. For that, I went into, well, actually, I guess it doesn't really matter, because at the end of the day, I don't regret what I did for my grad school stuff. I went into optical systems. So I went into optics and photonics. I guess more specifically, it's like biophotonics kind of stuff. That was always my like original kind of field of expertise. Like biophotonics, physics, of like light and stuff. And then learning all the little intricate things there. I guess eventually I kind of pivoted into like algorithms for image processing. So for a while I did algorithms for image processing, image reconstruction, compressive sensing, that kind of stuff. But RF is definitely, you know, if you want to be like a hardcore EE person, I mean, RF is where it's at, I would say. So much in RF right now, and it's always very interesting. So that's cool though. Pivoting into it wouldn't be a bad idea, especially if you're kind of thinking of going into like advanced level stuff. Fastest build still. Thanks to the fact that it's also hot swap, so we can try both. Both top mount and gasket here. Oops, let's see, maybe tweezers for this would be ideal. Okay. So what I did on the Tofu60 was I just used these little stabilizer pads. I think these are just little rubber pads, and I just stick them on the case on one side, kind of as a way to do the force break, because they did tell me that they're gonna add force break sort of stuff here. Gonna add it to the case like that. Because otherwise we did get a decent amount of resonance towards the edges. So let's avoid it altogether. Okay. Okay, now need to put our daughter board in. It's this way, right? No, it's this way. Okay. Okay, what mount shall we start with? Shall we do maybe top mount first, since that was kind of like what we wanted to try first? And then we can do gasket mount afterwards. Alrighty. So same parts as last time. So these prototypes are around the same time. So we have these little plate sort of gaskets. Some are stuck in here that is not coming out. There we go. And they're going to be revising these. These are little like silicone pieces that basically go on the plate right now, but they basically are revising these so that they're kind of easier to just put on and keep still essentially on the case. And they think they're gonna just move it to putting it on the case instead of on the plate, because when you flip the plate over, these guys can fall off, or right, so can be kind of a pain. So they're switching that, I think, for quality of life reasons. It also kind of depends on the plate. Some of the cutouts here can be a little bit narrower or wider, and so variability is there. So they're just changing it so that it's the case where they have more precise machining. So it's basically like a slightly semi-gasketed top mount, I guess is what I would call it. It's not purely the plate making contact at this point. You essentially have a little silicone piece making contact with the top of the case. So yeah, I guess isolation top mount is what people tend to call it. That's basically what the Tofu's top mount is like. The cutouts on the CF plate do look a little bit more snug than the ones on the PI, where they would just kind of fall right off. There we go. Gasket first? Oh, I'm already doing top mount first. It's all good. I'll try both anyway, so it's alright. Okay, looks like the internet's been behaving ever since Kiwi was awake. Maybe it's true. Maybe it is all about the cat power. Truly, truly spectacular. He is amplifying the signal. He is the 6G of this house. Oh, that's probably what it is. I wouldn't be surprised. Thank you, Kiwi. Thank you. I will offer my prayers after this. Okay. Top mount. Nice and sturdy feeling. Very, very, very nice and sturdy feeling. Let's try this out. I'm just excited for the new wave of skeptics who will be out warning of the effects of 6G on our braids. Right. Skeptical of the new thing that you'll be excited to have on your phone. Yeah, I know. It's like, dude, I love my new internet signal on my phone, but like, I also must warn you that while I love it, I think we should cancel it. It's crazy. All right, got some extra screws. Gotta put them away. Is this? Yeah, that's the right thing. Okay, let's Oops. Bravo. Drop these switches. Give me a sec. I'm gonna pick those up. Okay. All right. Even G's only, odd G's bad. but bro, 6G is gonna be 6 and then 6 and then 6 number of the devil. And we're fucked. We're done for. It's 666G. It's over. It's over. Now we can complete the number of the devil, and now we're truly gone off of the face of this earth. And we fly like a G6. Hey, that's an old one. All right. What keycap set do we want to put on this nice keyboard? These Tofu series of boards have been nice. I've been enjoying them. And certainly nod to what I guess Keycult was kind of doing with the way the design is sort of like wraps around like this in the back, right? But they've come out quite nicely. It's a nice series of boards. Anyway, what keycap set do we want to see today? The song started playing in my head. Yeah, I know, right? Same here. It's playing in my head. Doon 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 doon. I know. It instantly play in my head. Oh my god. I like these new Tofus more than new KC. You know, these have a nice like angular look. The Keycults have a very different proportion. So. And also, I guess you're kind of limited to one type of mounting too, right? That said, if you think about it, the design of the Keycult is pretty old now. Like it's like 10-year-old design now. Kind of crazy if you think about it that way. 10 years now, almost. It's like or like 8-9 years or whatever from the first Keycult. So. A mono set? Oh, do we actually want to see a mono? Wait, a mono set? Like what? Recommend some sets over here, guys. Come on. But wait, which one is the Ravenda kit that you were suggesting from Lavender? Is that the one with the same alpha color? Do I even have that? Or is that Oh yeah. That's the one with all the katakanas. I don't have that actually. I have the regular kit only. Sadly. That would have been a very nice fit for this. I totally agree. That would have been pretty cool. It's too bad. GMK Future Funk. Ooh. That's actually a kind of cool suggestion. I haven't seen Future Funk on the board in a hot minute. I'll be down for that. But Hennessy I don't have. But what's GMK Hennessy's color? That's white on black on white, right? I have like Stormtrooper minimal, like I have white on black, or no, sorry, I have classic black on white, which is the Canon Keys Run one. I have that one. Mars Cadet or Beta? Mars Cadet? That's an interesting suggestion. Yeah. All right. I'll put some of these up for a poll. Okay. So let's see. So key sets. Ooh, I'll suggest one more set that just came in the mail that you might want to see. And that's GMK N16. I got GMK N16 just recently. And I don't think the accents work on that because N16 had like the F row accents, so I think those are the accent row is like for F row, so it doesn't work for this. But if you wanted to see it with like the little accent colors, the gamer kit or whatever, that could work too. Something like gray and colorful still. Yeah. All right, I'll put some for suggestions here that you guys put up. Future Funk, Lavender. This is the regular one, by the way, the Lavender one that I have. Regular. Mars Cadet. I'll put that up too. Why not? And I think that's fine for now. Just 4. Put them in the poll. Vote in the chat. Top right. Vote. Oh wow, the votes they're flooding towards N16. Okay, we can do that. All right, I'll just go ahead and start getting it because it looks like people want to see the set. I haven't seen it like yet, so it'll be good to check it out. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Let's check it out. It's brand new. It's still in the shrink wrap, as you can see. So this is what the accent row looks like. It's a pretty cute choice of accents from was it MC who did this set? And yeah, GMK is vendoring this set too. They currently, I think they have currently in stock. I don't know if they still have the Grand TKL base, but the Grand base kit, which has like everything, but they still have TKL bases and other kits too, I think. So if you wanted to, like, you know, order it, GMK actually still has it in stock. I actually got this set from GMK, and so I was not charged tariffs, which is good. So if you're in the US and you wanted to order something from GMK, I got this through their DHL Express postal, and it arrived in like 2 days, and I did not get charged import duties. So there was that. So yeah, this is what the accents look like. A little bit better here without the shrink wrap, right? So you kind of have like a darker purple and a lighter, almost like this almost looks like GMK 2Z almost, very, very similar. And then you have a gray mono like F-row. But yeah, these are the F-row accents. And then on the other hand, the gamer kit, as it's called, it comes with some shine through caps, as well as HHKB style arrows. I think, yeah, these guys HKB style, and then basically RGBY arrows, and a dark gray base WASD sort of configuration. So so there's that. What's all this? This is GMK N16. So I have the Grand base kit here. So packaging is pretty nice. Pixel art. And then on the other side, it just has the same board, but sort of like pixel art like that. This pixel art is telling me that probably it was what's his name? Is it Olivius? Olivius? I think it's a pixel art artist who does a lot of these pixel art things for keyboards that I've seen. I think it's his work, almost sure. It's very familiar looking. Looks like MC maybe commissioned them. So that's the packaging, designed by MC, and then GMK N16, made in Germany, has the GMK logos and stuff. And then here the set comes with a nice little card. That's the CYL N16, and basically like kind of like a thank you card. And then the set itself packaged pretty nicely. So it looks like that. It's basically a mono, like a gray, you know, kind of like a monochrome set. In the sense that it's like just, rather grayscale set. It's like a grayscale set with basically RGB sort of modifier legends on the bottom, and then some accent keys here for the arrow keys, you know. So this whole aesthetic is sort of inspired from the Super Nintendo, Super Famicom design. Like the original inspiration is from the never run GMK SNES that never ran by Originative back in the day. There was like a, you know, or it was suggested by Intelli, I think, and then Originative was going to pick it up, but they never ran it. And then MC, I assume, kind of came about the design and wanted to sort of reprise it into like a new, different look, sort of design. And so it's inspired by that, and it's pretty much a gray tone, grayscale set. So that's so the Grand base kit pretty much has like everything on it. So very comprehensive kitting. So let's put that on this. Okay, so let's start with the top. So obviously, since we're decking out a 65, we don't really get to use the accent kit, the one from the F-Rose, because it wouldn't match up. But we can use the arrow key accents. Also, hi Funzy, how's it going? Okay, let's see. It's looking good already. I mean, it's a neutral set, so it's gonna look nice. Let's see how these colored mods look. Nice, decent contrast on the blue here. It's going very well. That's good to hear. Well, I forgot to edit the build command for the CF plate to edit that in, but it's a CF plate for today's build. Okay, I think I need to go to the other side. Oh, accent enter. If we use the colored ones, I think the accent enter is fine. And then let's see, so short shift, alt, control, the other alt. Actually, no, it's going horribly. How do I design crazy logo types? I'm not a designer. When you are completely lost and you're not a designer, then you ask for help from someone who is, I guess. You ask for their expertise. That's what I tend to do. I at least ask a harmless question first and then go from there. But hard to say. I just ordered stuff from GMK, free shipping, and crossing my fingers that DHL doesn't fuck me. Fingers crossed for you. If you're in the US though, I'm hoping it'll be fine. I was fine. I actually thought I was gonna get hit with import. For sure. I was like, oh, Germany, yeah, 100%, because I've heard of stories of people importing stuff from Germany and getting hit with tariffs. Like or rather like with import duties, right? Which now the customer pays. And so I was like 100% sure I was gonna get it, but it arrived and nothing happened. It was very uneventful, and I was like, well, that's fucking awesome. So yeah. Okay, so let's now put some caps on this. Do shine through caps lock? Oh, sure. Shine through. Where's my keycap holder? Is it over here? Huh, the legend on this one looks pretty good on the shine through. Put it here for now, but I need to remember to organize it properly afterwards. You gonna design my logo for the weight? Oh, you designing a keyboard weight logo right now? Is that what you're doing? Sounds tough. But yeah, I would ask somebody else for help if you really don't know what to do. Okay, let's put some caps. Maybe on the escape, I'll put something gray. And then on the, yeah, I'll put something like gray or like in that like tone. Or even black would work. Actually, you know what? I have this perfect Cosmo for this. It has like a rainbow on it, but I think that works. And then ideally, hopefully I have something nice and yellow here. Okay, I think let's do this. Let's put a yellow at the very bottom because it's very low profile. And then I was gonna use these single shots over here, ones I have right here. So R, G, B. Oh man, it's kind of barely gonna fit, huh? Oh, they rub a little bit up and down. You can ignore it. It looks good though. Oh, my this is not focusing. Okay, there we go. It looks good though. Oh shit! I got a raid and I just noticed. Alex, hello. Thanks for the raid. Hello. Thank you guys. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for the raid, Alex. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope you guys had a good time at Alex's stream. I hope the internet doesn't drop. It's been behaving well, but earlier at the beginning it was not doing too hot. Rocking that Teja hoodie. Yeah, someone told me that Alex was apparently wearing one too or something. Or maybe that's not the case, but yeah, I was wearing it today. So oh, there we go. All right, so we were about to try this. This is the Tofu65, and you know, I literally just built it up. I was just putting keycaps on. I have GMK. This is GMK N16 on this, and we were about to just try it out. So you know, you can see it over here like that. Unfortunately, these artisans are slightly rubbing with one another because the you know, they don't always have like the perfect profile up and down essentially. So sometimes they do rub a little bit. So, but yeah. Let me see. Where's my typing screen? Let's try typing on this. Sorry, the window's probably huge right now. Okay, there. That's better, right? Okay. And so today we built it with roller switches, the roller V2s. I think a few other people have built it with them now. I did a different configuration at Tofu60, and we're trying the 65 today, and so I hadn't tried these switches, so we're going to try them out now. Actually, let me edit the build command. So let me edit that, and we currently have it onto a CF or carbon fiber full plate, right? Yeah. All right. So that's what we have for the build. So let me Silence the music over here. Perfect timing. The song just ended. And let's set it up for some typing. All right. So we have this is this is Roller V2 on CF, top mount, GMK N16. Okay, let's try this out. All right, here we go. These switches feel super nice. The springs are on the lighter side for me, I would say, but they do feel very smooth. Like, it's kind of impressive how frictionless relatively they feel. So the preload on the spring, though, you can definitely feel that a little bit more. But then as I was starting to bottom out on them, I was like, oh, it feels kind of lighter than I thought. They're definitely like sub 60 gram bottom out. So I can definitely feel that because typically my own switches are like between 60 and 65, so I'm very used to it. What did I say to trigger auto mode? Oh, not sure. Let me see. You said, hey, if you have time, I have a weird request. There is a mounting point somewhat under the spacebar. Do you mind removing that screw to see how it sounds? I'm talking about the second one from the left. Yeah, sure, I can do it. I mean, it's so easy to open it up, so yeah, for sure. Yeah, we can try that. Let's go through the mods for now. So let's go through the mods. So right now I have so my case is actually the lilac or like, light purple alu top and stainless steel bottom with the stainless steel weights. So one thing that I can say compared to the full alu version that I had on the Tofu60, so the Tofu60 that I had built last time, it was a full alu version. I think it had the stainless steel weights inside, but the case itself was all alu. Definitely would say that this one feels a little bit more resonant than the other, considering that most of the conditions are pretty similar. I can kind of feel like, I can kind of hear a little bit extra case resonance from the overall board, like no matter where I'm like pressing. But it's still a pretty tight space in there. So, but I do think the steel is contributing to a little bit of dampening, but at the same time some like echoing in there. So we can try the other mounting methods. So we have a couple, right? So Gingy just suggested taking off one of the mounting points for close-ish to the spacebar, and which we currently have on top mount. And then we can also try the silicone gasket mount, which is using these little pellets that just hook onto the PCB. So we can try that. Is the bottom stainless steel? Yeah, the bottom is stainless steel, I'm pretty sure. it feels substantially heavier than the 60%. Actually, I have the 60% here, so let me bring the scale and we can just compare. So give me a second. Give me a sec. So I'm back. So the offer anodized finishes on the bottoms. I wonder how they're doing that. I mean, well, wait, are they offering on the steel too? That's kind of weird. Also, this window is just kind of getting in the way, huh? All right, there. So here's my scale. Bring us the Kiwi. Oh, okay. He's somewhere over there. Let's weigh this first. So let's wait for it to tear it. All right. So we have freedom units first. So this is 5 pounds and 11.4 ounces. So like pretty close to 6 pounds. That's 2.6 kilos built right now. And then I have the 60% here, which we built last time. This one is heavy too, but definitely not nearly as heavy as this, I would say. So this was what, 2.6 I said? This is a 60% and weighs 1.6, right? So even if this were, you know, if this guy were alu bottom, you know, this would be closer to in weight, but we have a kilo difference in weight, so it's a pretty big you know, difference in weight. We have a whole kilo, so that's quite a bit. That's like, you know, 2.2 pounds, right? So yeah, so that's the difference between the 60 and the 65 right now, because I have a stainless steel bottom on the case on the 65. So yeah, okay, so put this aside for a second. Put that aside for a second. Those artisans are heavy? Yeah, I know. Ugh, damn, 5 extra keycaps, man. Each of them weighing like 200 grams. That's the mage. Buying little ingots for for keycaps. All right, let's put that away for a second. And we were gonna turn this over and trying the different mounts out, right? I'm gonna play the music for a sec and let's open it up. Oh, I'll bring Kiwi. How many Kiwis does it weigh? Kiwi weighs like 13 pounds or so. So it's like it weighs like how much should I say? It's like almost a third of Kiwi. I mean, like almost, yeah, it's like almost a half, I guess, between a third and a half. All right, let me bring Kiwi over. I'll bring him. Okay, I'm back, and Kiwi is back too. Hi, say hi, Kiwi. Oh. He's sleepy. He is so sleepy. He's so sleepy. Oh. Good boy. Yeah. Kiwi, what do you think of this keyboard? Do you like it? No. He's like, don't care. Get this away from me and get me away from here. Oh. Good boy. Kiwi did fix the internet issues, yeah. Thanks to Kiwi. Thanks for putting all your fur on the desk. As always, actually. Oh, okay. It's scratch in front of the keyboard. Please do not put your ear gunk on the board, thanks. Oh, he's such a good boy. Okay, let me put you back where you were. A more comfy place. Alright, stay there. Okay, he's sitting down now. Alright. You're welcome. Whoop. Oh, it's out. It's dead. It must be the static. All the static buildup from just now. Okay. So where were we? Gonna take this off. So I think Gingy, you were saying about, you're talking about this one here, this one, this guy, this screw. They're actually kind of like hugging the stabs, essentially. Almost the same distance from the two. Did you mean removing both of them or just the one? Just the one or both? Both might be a bit bouncy. Yeah, you're right. Maybe let's just do just the one. I'm not sure. I feel like both might be a little too much. Might be okay. Oh, someone's ringing the bell. One sec. I'll be right back. Let's just do the one on the left and see how it goes. So, okay, screw removed. Let's try that. Just this one here. I thought that the right one was further out. Yeah. You know, when you said it at first, I thought the same. I actually thought it was like not symmetrical around it, but it seems like they took the 7U positions and then they were like, oh, like by, you know, certain millimeters out, that's where our screw point is gonna be. I mean, it looks like it's the same for the gaskets, except, you know, they're not perfectly lined up, right? But yeah, that's the gist of it. All right, so let's try this out real quick. Okay, so, sorry. Hi. Oh, cool. All right. Okay. Okay, let's try it out. So let me stop the music here. Okay. So now we have top mount with one fewer position. I'd rather it be just two mounting points that are between the pairs where they are. Between the pairs where they are. Oh, I see. So kind of like, they have them right here. So you were saying kind of like maybe a little bit here and maybe like here-ish. Yeah, that could do. Or even like, yeah, for the 65, I think that could do. All right, let's try this out. All right, top mount again, but with one fewer screw. Oops. Yeah, kind of loosened up a little bit of the spacebar sound, so it kind of sounds a little bit like it has a little bit more, you know, kind of like room to breathe, so to speak. Sounds pretty good. I would say, like, personally, like, between the two, I'm not a fan of one over the other as much. Like, I'm kind of okay with both cases, but yeah. Hi. All right. Okay, let's listen to the mods real quick. What bottom weight isn't here? We have so this is lilac top, SS bottom, SS inner weights. Does this happen on dodgy boards as well? I think the TKOs have similar points to this, as at least left of the spacebar. I haven't removed mounting points on the dodgy ones to test, but maybe it's worth trying. But yeah, I can't tell you because I haven't tried it. Oh, oh, thank you. Oh, I got some milk tea. Thank you. Oh, it's interesting. Okay. Please. Okay, here's the mods. Yeah, the spacebar definitely has a lot more, I don't know, like, you know, like space, like room to like develop its sound fully, right? So it sounds pretty good. I like the spacebar the way it sounds right now. But I actually think removing both probably wouldn't sound, like, it would maybe like loosen up too much. So I think just one is okay. At least for the top mount. It might be helping the fact that we don't have a pure top mount in the Tofu 60 and 65. We actually have like an isolated top technically, because there's those little gaskets between the plate and the top piece. If this were like a pure top mount, I feel like removing either might not be like the greatest idea. But I think in this particular case, like in this particular design, it's fine because the gaskets are doing the job of isolating any extra stuff. So it's pretty good. It's pretty nice. All right, let's do the next thing now, which is gonna be trying out the gasket mount. Diego, have you tried Hey Tea? I have tried Hey Tea. I don't have controversial boba takes. To be very honest with you, Dosa. Like, first of all, I don't buy boba as much as I used to because it's so fucking expensive. Okay, like, getting a milk tea now is like a $7 plus ordeal, and I'm not a fan of it. You know, like I like boba, but I ain't paying that much for it. I don't want to. It's too expensive. So I have really decreased my intake of like outside drinks in general because they're so expensive now. I can't. I cannot like the idea of paying like, you know, like $5 drinks were already like a thing, and then like 6, 7, it just kept creeping up, and now it's like there's like these like luxury brands almost, and it's so expensive. So yeah, no, not for me anymore, really. It's just too expensive. Like occasionally I'll like get a coffee or whatever, but yeah, I'm not like a huge fan. You said 6, 7, 6, 7. Yes, I know. So yeah. Hi 9, how are you? Now they expect. Oh my god! Do not get me started on the fucking tip screen. The hey, just tap to pay, and then it says like to get to the no tip, you need to click custom, and sometimes it doesn't even let you go to custom and then no tip. You have to be like custom and then press 0, and then press OK. Like, are you sure you were gonna tip 0? It's like, yes, I'm just picking a drink up. I'm not tipping. like not always, at least. I tip every so often, you know. I'll be like, tip $1 here, tip $2 here, like whatever, right? Like every few visits I'll always tip, right? But like every transaction, especially like if you're like doing like carry out, right? Like if you're not sitting down for like a dining experience or something like that, and then the expectation to tip is like wild. To me, like that shit's insane. Like I get it, you know, wages and blah blah blah. Like it's this whole issue, right? Like it's like this very multi-dimensional issue, but like, come on. The terminals, it's the terminals problem. It's like the whole like Square or Cash App or whatever the shit, like the terminals that they use. I don't like it, man. I don't like the way they're doing it. Yeah, not a fan. Not a fan. That said, I'm not against tipping if it's warranted. Like that's I think that's fine. I feel like it's pretty black and white, just America thing, and the whole culture behind it was shitty to start with. That's fair. Oh. Okay, sorry about that. So yeah. Time for Diego to start making everything at home and tip himself. Yeah, true. Well, to be fair, so we have gotten really into tea, but I guess lately we haven't made as much like, you know, brewed like tea as much. Huh? Making boba at home. Yeah. But like, you know, like I don't want to bother making the tapioca and the whole like syrup thing and all that stuff. Is kind of annoying, but yeah, like we do make like tea at home in terms of like just like loose leaf tea, you know, like we'll do it like either like Western or like Kung Fu style, right? And it's pretty good. And it's pretty easy relatively. I guess lately, ever since we went to, so back in November, we went out to Turkey for vacation. We got really hooked on Turkish tea. So we have the Turkish teapot thing. It's like the kettle that has like it's like a 2-story kettle essentially. Like the bottom kettle is bigger than the top one, and the bottom one is open, and the top one sits on top of the first one. So the tea is at the top. The tea is at the top, with like, you know, concentrated tea is at the top, and the just water, like boiling water, is at the bottom. But Turkish tea, we've been like really hooked on it, so we pretty much drink Turkish tea like every day now. It's been really nice caffeine kick. But the nice thing about like tea is like it gives you the caffeine kick without the crash from like you know, like regular coffee has. So that's been pretty sweet. Occasionally I'll like buy like milk drinks, like milk espresso drinks outside, but we can technically do some at home too. So occasionally that'll happen when we get beans and we want to like have like a milk drink at home. Like we do have a machine. It's like it's a pretty shitty like old 90s machine that we like just rescued and have been used in, but I haven't upgraded yet. But maybe that eventual upgrade might come at some point. But it's not urgent, I guess. Yeah. PCB mount with a plate disgusts me. I don't even know why. Why is that? I mean, maybe you're just a purist, Funzy. Like you feel like if it's like you're basically asking people to commit. You're like, just commit to one. Like why do PCB mount and then put a plate if you can't commit to PCB mount by itself? So I kind of get that idea. What's up? Oh yeah, sure. Give me one sec, guys. I just need to do a chore. Okay. So yeah, as long as it ain't broken, no need to fix a tool or buy a tool. Yeah, that's true. I mean, plate with PCB mount is actually fine. I think to me, I think the idea of it is fine, totally good to me, because sometimes PCB mount just doesn't feel, or it feels a little too bouncy depending on the layout of the board. And so I personally feel like the option of having a plate is kind of nice because it gives you that extra rigidity, but at the same time, the mounting system is on the PCB, so you still get that like, you still get a little bit of that like you know, I guess it depends on how they implement the system. Sometimes it's like top mount PCB, sometimes it's like bottom mount PCB, or like gasket mount, like in this case, but. Yeah, I mean, it's a good way to kind of have intermediate levels of typing feel. So I'm not against it. I imagine feeling very weird. I can't remember ever trying it. No, it's not that bad, honestly. Usually the mounting systems for a PCB only tend to err on the side of soft, like more like trampoline-like or softer, like bouncier feel. And personally, I think having a plate is the perfect way to not go too far that way. Like plateless builds are nice, but like there are some, like in some like of these gasket implementations, the gaskets themselves are so soft and they're like so sparse away from each other that they feel a little too bouncy. And I think a plate is a perfect way to remedy that to some degree. Gives you that extra rigidity to like push against, and so I think it's pretty good to have one. I think the option is good, but you know, every opinion, you know, will vary on this. Yeah, the mounting style needs to be stiff for plateless. I think that's why I think for plateless, like top mount PCB is pretty nice. Like the synthesis that we tried like a couple weeks ago, that was pretty good. And like, you know, I've seen some like PCB mount that use like longer strips of gaskets that are like a little bit more on the rigid side. Those also feel super good plateless. So I personally feel like because you're already removing a whole material in between and you're making it very soft, like you don't need to make the mounting itself soft, in my opinion. I feel like you need to just balance those two out. Removal of a material is a big step, so why continue going that direction and make it like super soft? Personally, I'm not a huge fan, so you know. Yeah. W1 on the lowest or second lowest tap hole, individual area bounds give. Yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay, so let's try the next one. So this is now the this is the PCB gasket mount with the plate still on. So this is, again, carbon fiber plate, GMK N16, and we have the roller V2 switches. So let's try it out with the gasket mount this time. All right, here we go. Oops. Those ball bearings balling the bearings so hard right now. Interesting. But these roller switches honestly super smooth. I'm a fan. I'm personally a fan of these switches. I think amongst the like based on like both the material choice and the way they sound right now, I like them a lot. And I don't really like long pole switches super much. Like I enjoy them in doses, but I could do these roller V2s like more often. Pretty good. 키보드처럼 들리네요. 그렇군요. Anyway, yeah, so it does sound and feel like a keyboard. So let's go to the mods. So I will comment a little bit on the feel though. Like I will say personally the spacebar sound of the top mount is probably my favorite. Feel wise, I think I prefer top mount better for this particular configuration with the carbon fiber plate. But maybe like I think like the PCB mount with like alu might be a little bit like more pleasing for me. But it does feel like on the soft side, so it's a little extra soft. I would probably go with like maybe like a slightly stiffer material for the plate for this. I kind of wish they had different gaskets too, like maybe like more rigid ones. All right, let me go to the mods. Okay. I like the backspace on this more. These arrow keys feel a little muted on this. Yeah, the alphas generally feel a lot weaker on the gasket mount, but it is, I think one of the perks of the gasket mount right now is that it eliminates all the case echo, like the case resonance. It goes away because the mounting system is essentially bottom mount. Basically, it's attached to that pogo pin connector, the magnetic one, and then the gaskets are basically just holding it up enough for it to not like short, like to like not like crash against the bottom of the case. So it's just like holding it up there. It's pretty soft. So the alphas are I would say more like dead, as one might say, in sound, and in feel like it's not super consistent. I would say it was a little better on the 60 than the 65 for gasket mount. I think I like the gasket mount on the 60 a lot, but I think on the 65 I'm kind of on it. I think the top mount is a lot like more controlled typing feel wise than the 60%. So like if I were to use a 65, I'd probably do top mount. Or if I had to do gasket, I would do gasket with a stiffer plate. And then for the 60, I actually really like using top mount with the PEI plate, which was the softest plate that I had. So that I was a big fan of that one. And the 60 had less case resonance, especially like after like doing some force break and whatever. Just the same exact case as this one. For setup, the 60, I think the top mount with a plastic plate was a really nice experience. But I'm sure some others have tried like CF or allo plate, and I think those are probably gonna be fine. But you know, that was just my experience. Yeah. But yeah, you know, if you have any questions or specific requests, just let me know. My plate design has 98 gasket thingies. It's not soft typing at all. Very nice and rich. Yeah. So when you do gasket mount for that you can control the hardness of the material, I do personally tend to prefer like harder like O-ring gaskets, or harder like the 70 or like 90A like those grommets, like the grommets on the bias. The R2 version, the harder grommets were much nicer, I think. than the softer ones. So, you know, just kind of give an example. But yeah, I feel like for the softer typing or mounting types, I do tend to prefer like a more like a sturdier sort of feeling like mounting system, even if there's no plate. So, yeah, like for the tap holes, it's the same thing, right? So, of course, that's intended. I didn't design an awful top mount that sounded like a snare drum and try to fix it. Oh, that's fair. But these roller V2 switches, I am a fan. I like these quite a lot for long pull. They feel so smooth. I actually really like the springs on these. There's a good amount of preload on this that like at first you think there's a bit more weight to it, and then the switch action itself is super smooth. I would use these stock. They're perfectly fine stock. They're really nice. So if you guys ever get a chance to pick them up or try them, you know, I think they're pretty good. That said, there's a lot of switches out there, so it's not like you're not missing out like a crazy thing, but they're nice nonetheless. I do think they sound nice, and the space bar on this sounds pretty good too. But I think I like the top mount slightly more. Okay, shall we maybe walk through the design of the case and everything? I'm sure you guys have seen enough of this if you saw other people's streams and whatnot, but this is what the board looks like. We measured it earlier. It's around 2.6 kilos for the stainless steel inner weights and exterior bottom design. This is the light purple version of the board. For the top case, we have GMK N16 on it right now, and for the bottom is a sandblasted stainless steel. Looks really clean. Really like the look here. The sandblasting on this is nice and smooth, very nice and even. Yeah, it has a little texture on it. Like you can kind of feel a little grittiness to the sandblasting itself, but nonetheless, nice and clean finish. Compared to the Tofu TKL, I really like these new adhesive gasket, bump-ons on the Tofu design now. They are pretty rigid, and they stand. I kind of wish they were a little taller or just maybe different shape, but these strip bump-ons are pretty good. Only 4 screws for the case. Does worry me a little bit. I kind of wish there was 6 instead of 4, but it's fine, I guess. But yeah, sandblasted steel is probably one of my most favorite looks in keyboards in general. I prefer it to brass and copper actually, but you know, it's a personal preference. Looks like that for the case on this side, and yeah, and you know, if you see like the Mary C stuff that has the brushed stainless steel look, that also is very nice. Although it can attract fingerprints quite a lot because the brush, depending on how thin or thick it is, as you like put finger oil on it, it like kind of like forms like little grooves almost. Like it's very noticeable. But yeah, sandblasted steel is such a nice clean look. For those who think polish looks nice, I think you don't know the the actual beauty of sandblasted steel. It's so nice. Anyway, so let's talk about this here. So is this focusing? There you go. So that's what GMK N16 looks like. We have a blue, green, yellow, and red modifier. Excuse me. Oh my gosh. For the bottom row mods, and we have a little shine through cap from one of the accent kits. This from the gamer kit for the arrows, and it's a nice you know, sort of grayscale set. So if you're looking out for a grayscale set that's not quite like muted or maybe, I don't know, like Honeywell, something like that, a little different. GMK N16 has a nice splash of color in between, so, and it's inspired by, you know, quite popular console out there. But looks nice on this case nonetheless. Here's the side profile. Tofu, sharp as ever. You already saw it from the 60% review, but you know, it's a nice look. It's a very nice look. Polished accents are fantastic. Yes, thank you. I appreciate that too. I can, polished accents can look really clean. Also, it really depends the extent to which you can touch them, so to speak. You know, like polished accents or polished weights that you can like touch so easily, they get smudged so quickly or like get scratched or whatever, right? But if they're not as accessible and they're like there to like really reflect that light subtly, polished accents in general, whether it's copper, steel, or brass or whatever, they can look so clean. So yeah. I just don't like polish anything. Fair enough. Raw copper, like the. So this bad boy is a client build that I did recently. It's I need to send this out actually this week. Just did it offline. But this was MX Brown's on Alu F18X V2, and this one had raw copper weights on the inside. They look pretty nice. Won't open it because I already built it, but yeah, quite nice. How are we feeling about polished chamfers FMJ style? Come see, come saw, my friend. I personally feel like they can look good, but in moderation. FMJ kind of looks okay. I think the color choices on the FMJ cases sort of plays a role. I think that like dark gray one looks kind of nice with the chamfers because it's like dark gray contrast with shiny chamfers, but like I wouldn't do it like on black. Maybe that's like maybe too much. Or even like on silver, and also depends on the size of the chamfers, but yeah. Can be tricky. I personally am more of a so-so on chamfers like that. Polished especially. Yeah, chamfers in general, but chamfers that are polished, it can look kind of tacky, I think. It can look kind of tacky. So it's like I like them, but in moderation, I would say. But I'm kind of a boring person in terms of like keyboard preferences, so I don't venture too far out from what's comfortable, relatively speaking. Okay, so do we have any other requests or anything like that? Are these full travel? They're not actually. There are, I think these are 3.7 mils, but they do feel like pretty good. Like you can tell they're a little shorter travel compared to like a Cherry EMX, like for sure, right? Like I do this and then I do this. I can feel the difference. Like I can feel the bottom out on this. It's kind of harsher bottom out because of the plastic to plastic. But they're not too bad. I mean, I think there's a lot worse, personally, long poles, like the really short ones, 3.2s, 3.3s, even 3.5 can get a little, like, too much for me, too short for travel. These are 3.7s. I think 3.7, 3.8 is, like, okay. It's, like, tolerable, at least personally, just because I'm not a huge long pole switch person. But they do sound and feel pretty good, though, I'll say. Like, I think these are worth a shot if you're like open to trying these switches. I think these are quite smooth and quite nice. The material blend seems to sound pretty good too. Like it's not as plasticky sounding as like HMX or some of the other choices out there. So yeah. And granted, I guess you could technically re-lube, like lube on top or whatever. So you could make it a little bit more muted by doing so. So that's also a choice. Yeah, like these are stock right now. In stock, they have a little bit of lube on the front legs, on the leaf. Front legs, leaf, and sides, just like slightly. So there's not an excessive amount of lube, and then there's a bit of lube on the bottom of the housing where the spring goes. For the spring, I imagine, when the spring compresses. But yeah, they're not heavily lubed. So like if you wanted to mute them a little bit, dampen a little bit more, then you can just lube them by hand and apply a little bit more on the sides. Yeah. I just looked at an FMJ to myself, and the R4 has a live, laugh, love style engraving on the side. Yeah, it does. The newer versions of the FMJ are kind of pretty hilarious.
Fits the tacky chamfers you mentioned. Yeah. I think that's kind of like that's what they're going for, right? Like they actually from R1 FMJ to like later, like the designs go crazier. Like the the inside has like that big dragon whatever engraving, and then the PCB and like yeah, and it gets progressively I guess worse. Yeah, kind of crazy. All right. Okay, so I guess that's pretty much where I would wrap things up. I can show you if you want like what the configuration here that I have looks like. So this one is lavender top, sandblast is steel, weight bars are steel. And then I have hot swap. What did I have? Carbon fiber. So this is like a, let's say no foam. So this is like a $276 configuration, which is frankly like, well, I guess it's on the more expensive side if you compare it to like a Neo 65 Core Plus or whatever. It's on the more expensive side, but you know, lots of choices though. Like these, the list here has so many choices. You have like anodized whatever with texture, and they have like 12, 13 colors or whatever it is. So you know, you can go crazy with it. So you know, I think Wei and KBDfans coming out with quite a lot in terms of options. So yeah, kind of crazy what the keyboard market is like now. Like you have a lot of options now. So yeah, I think you need to just kind of commit to that one. I think the idea that you like, or at least this is how I like will typically think about keyboards in terms of like if I like was getting a new one, for example, like I visualize not the like specific design, but I pre-visualize the color I want already, like if the option is there, and then you kind of have to commit to it, and then you're like, oh, I've always wanted a red with whatever accent color, and you like, you know, you find a design that you happen to like, and then you commit to that one because they offer that specific option. For the case of the Tofu, they offer so many. So if you have ever had several ideas of a specific color combinations that you've wanted to do, then you just pick one and commit to it. You know, pick that first, and then you commit to the designs that you like. Yeah. What's a build that you would go with for this? So I haven't tried actually Cherry MX on the Tofus, but they sound good. I mean, they sound solid. Other than that, I feel like this design in particular would go nicely with some like louder full travel switches, like creams. I feel like could sound pretty good on this design, on the Tofu. Yeah, I think it would be worth trying something like that, something similar to creams, like a loud switch. Or like what's that switch that I tried on the Spider, Lamb Spider, Konsus, Gateron Konsus. Those are pretty good too. I feel like a little loud switch, and then having, you know, you can play around with the plate a little bit maybe, but a little loud switch with this design would kind of be fitting, I think. Make a statement, but I mean, there's not much of a statement with a wedge, right? But yeah, kind of get the idea. Okay, so one last look at the board here, so you can kind of see here. So there for our thumbnail for tonight's build. There it is. Tofu65 with N16. All right, so I guess let's wrap things up here. Let me see if anybody is streaming. I think I saw Kim was doing something right now. Pika J, I think we rated them a while back. I think that's pretty much it for keywords, I think, right now. Alright, maybe we can just rate Kim. All right, folks. Appreciate you all. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your weekend. But I'll see you again pretty soon. Thank you. And have a good night. Bye. Have fun. Bye-bye. De nada. Bye-bye.